Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victor and today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones. More specifically, their spin-offs, right? There's been some rumors, some news about the spin-off shows that are coming out soon. So today we're going to be talking about those and what they are, if they have potential. And I'm going to be addressing the rumors as well that appeared on the media, I believe like 2 weeks ago, about Robert's Rebellion and Duncan Egg, right? Game of Thrones is my favorite show, even though it's not the best one that I've seen. It is my favorite one. So let's get started. So let's start with the one that has already been greenlit. They're gonna be shooting in April and everything, which is House of Dragon. Um, we're just gonna tell the story about the Targaryens a little bit after they had already conquered the Seven Kingdoms, right? So you're gonna see Aegon's and his two sisters ruling over Westeros already, and I do think it's gonna be really cool. Even though I would love to see a little bit before that when they're conquering, I think it'd be awesome. Um, but I understand why they did that, so they can start doing like the politics sooner, which is one of the things that everyone loves about Game of Thrones. And when they lost the politics, the show started dying out, right? And they can do a lot of that because what House of Dragons talk about is the rebellion and between the two Targaryen's branches, like the Green and the Blacks. They were trying to put someone else in the Iron Throne because of the politics. Because one of them wanted to put a woman in the throne, and since she's a woman, oh no, she doesn't really fit to the other half of the kingdom who wanted to put another Targaryen who was a man this time. So they're gonna have this rebellion, and I do believe that the show also talks about the Dance of Dragons. In the book is heavily talked, which is these battles that they have, and they have like dragons fighting dragons because Targaryens, right? And you're gonna have Balerion the Dread, who is Aegon's Targaryen dragon. And if you remember in Harrenhal in season 2, we have Arya and Tywin like in the really burned down castle. That was Balerion's doing. He's a massive dragon, like really, like I'm probably like 3 times bigger than Drogon. And his fire in the books is black. I really hope they do a black fire, but okay. So yeah, the I do see a lot of potential in this show. I am really excited about this one because we never seen Targaryens in power. I mean, we've seen the Daenerys like in Marine, but it was not the Seven Kingdoms. It was not the Westeros, right? I really love this whole kingdom. That's not something we have seen, and I think that would be awesome to see. We're gonna have a bunch of politics because there is a lot of politics in there, um, and we definitely need that. Definitely want to bring that feeling that we had on GOT to this show now. We do have some casting already, right? Have Matt Smith. If you have seen The Crown or Doctor Who, you know who it is, and he is a great actor. I am really excited. He's going to be playing Daemon Targaryen. We have some casting for Alice Hightower as well, which is really cool to see her because there is like in the books, there's a lot of theories about her family and herself. Now the second one, I'm gonna talk about like briefly about the canceled spin-off show, right? They were called Blood Moon or The Long Night, where we're gonna be having the story like I believe it was 10,000 years ago, before what happened on Game of Thrones. The thing with that was that we're gonna be seeing the origins of the White Walker, something they did not show in God. Why? Because we were going to have the spin-off show. Awesome, right? Yeah, but they canceled. So no answers because of the White Walkers. We're gonna be seeing pretty much the oranges of Westeros and some of the houses like House Stark, where they mention Bran the Builder on the little description they released about the show. However, they cancel it because what HBO does is they greenlit a pilot, which means you're gonna shoot the first episode. When you shoot that episode, then the HBO is gonna watch that and they're gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna move forward with this. Yeah, let's order a full season." Oh, we don't like this one. We're gonna just cancel. And that's what they did. They canceled the show after shooting the pilot, which I am assuming was like horrible because even God had has an unaired pilot. I could do like a video just talking about the unaired pilot. But they did an unaired pilot. The cast was really different. We didn't have Emilia Clarke as the nurse, for example. Um, but HBO said, okay, you guys are gonna reshoot this. So they did, and then HBO awarded the full season, and it became what we had. But they did had an unaired pilot, so it must have been really bad, the Long Night pilot, for HBO not to give it a second chance like they did before. Now let's talk about Duncan and Egg. If you don't know what Duncan and Egg is, it's some short stories about Duncan, who is a really badass knight. He's actually an ancestor from Brienne, right? He's really cool. He travels around helping people in the kingdom, solving some problems with his kid. No, not his kid, but with a kid, which is Egg. And if you don't remember who Egg is, he is the uncle of Aemon Targaryen, the Mace Aemon from the Night's Watch, the old guy there that dies on, I think, season 5. That's his uncle, right? So, and he's like I think he's 10 years old in Duncan Egg, the Tales of Duncan Egg. And he has to shave his head so people don't know he's a Targaryen. That's why he's called Egg, because he looks like an egg, right? And it does have a similar vibe to the Mandalorian, which is a guy walking through the kingdom with a kid. I do think there is plenty potential of that to tell like really small stories in a very interesting world, which is the Song of Ice and Fire world. So I do think they're gonna move forward with that. However, I don't see that being a multiple seasons show. I could see that being a mini series because I don't think there is enough stories to develop like in 4 or 5 seasons. I do think it's gonna be like a shorter show. I could be wrong, but still. Now, let's talk about Robert's Rebellion rumors, which I don't think will actually happen. Because Robert's Rebellion is this story, right? It's around 17 years before where Game of Thrones starts. It's around 17, 20 years. Um, and it's the rebellion starts after Rhaegar Targaryen runs away with Lyanna Stark, and Robert Baratheon, was supposed to marry Lyanna Stark. So, and he thinks Rhaegar kidnapped her. So he starts a rebellion against the Targaryen who were sitting on the Iron Throne. And then because people were not happy how the Mad King was, well, how he was, because he was called the Mad King. So people started joining the rebellion until they won, right? And Robert became king. However, Lyanna died. We have the flashbacks on Game of Thrones and everything. Um, Although it could be nice to see more of the rebellion, the thing is, HBO is looking to do shows that have like multiple seasons, right? They don't want to do, oh, let's do like 2 seasons and that's it. No, no, no. They want like a bunch of shows with a bunch of seasons. They want like 5, 6 seasons. That's what they're aiming for, right? Because money. Even though we are fans of those stories, we gotta think like them are thinking, like the high ups on HBO. They want money, and the more shows, the more money you can make. And since the rebellion doesn't have enough story to drag along for 5 years, I don't really see that happening, especially because it ends when Game of Thrones starts. So they can't drag it too much because we already have the rest of the story. And George R. R. Martin said something among those lines too. Because in 2019, even before the final season of GOT aired, they were having like, talks about the spin-offs already, right? They were planning everything. And George R. R. Martin, he's involved on developing the spin-offs, but not like as a writer or a showrunner. No, he's there more as a consultant because it is his stories and everything, right? Um, and he started talking about some of them, and he said they were developing four. However, he knew that not all of them would be developed, because when you start just talking about an ideas, obviously not everything's gonna pass, right? And he mentioned that we would see everything that we needed about Robert's rebellion. He's probably just talking about the books, but I do have a sense that in the show they tried to do the same thing, because we had small details that the show would never address, like Elias Martel situation with Rhaegar or some stuff like that, but they did show everything we needed to, at least I believe. Unless there's like some really plot twist that we haven't heard about, but still, that's why I don't think Robert's Rebellion would actually be a spin-off, even though it could be interesting to see that. I don't think it will happen. And then I'm gonna talk now about some of the ideas that I have that could be, I believe, interesting for spin-off shows, right? One of them being an Arya Stark show. A few years after she left Game of Thrones, she has her ship, her crew, and she's going on an adventure, right? She says she's going west of Westeros. And what is west of Westeros? No one knows, because everyone dies when they go there. So that could be interesting to see what is there. Maybe nothing, and she just like circles back around to Essos, right? Which is the content that Daenerys was in the first seasons. But Daenerys was like, this is Essos, for example. Daenerys was here. We have a whole continent over there. And in this part right here, we have um some kingdoms. They resemble a lot of the Chinese and Japanese culture, right? They have a lot of myths there. And then the show talks, the books talks about them, and they're very mystical, and they have like different creatures. They have the tales of Azor Ahai, and that the long night. They tell that the brother of the princess, when he cracked the moon, he could kill he killed his sister, and then the long night began. So for me, that's already interesting enough, because if the White Walkers are all the way over Westerns and they are the ones who bring the long night, some dude on the other side of the world is bringing the long night, and he's not a White Walker. Those are the mysteries they could tell in the show. Since we don't have the answers for the White Walkers problem, what they were looking for, and I don't buy any of the excuse they gave us on the last season. Why not give Arya, like, she's exploring there and she finds out about this, right? Especially because she's the one who killed the goddamn Night King, right? When then we have a place there called Ashai, and Ashai is all the Red Priestess, like Melisandre studies, and they speak a different tongue, and the city is super creepy. No kids walk there. They're not like, and it's not like they cannot go there. They just don't exist, and the city is all foggy, and the everything's black. The stone they build stuff there is black, but it's not stone. It's something else, like super random magic creepy things. And everything's so mystic there. Everything's magical, and all the secrets of the world are in there. And I think that would be a amazing place to visit and see that. Because the way they talked about in the books as well has a lot of like Lovecraftian um, things built in for that. Why not explore that? And but Arya is walking there. She gets on a shy, and then the Red Priestess gonna be like, "Yo, you were the one who killed the Night King. You are Azor Ahai." And then Arya's gonna be like, "What is Azor Ahai?" And then they can explain where Azor Ahai is. Explain everything that we needed answers for and got. Explain now. I just want the answers, man. Just give me the answers. Um, so we have a lot of potential, like just like exploring this other part of the show, and I think Arya could be a good character for that because she went that way. Why not, right? And we do have another continent that's south of Westeros, which in the books they say that Targaryen got up on the dragon and he started flying to see what it was there. You couldn't see anything but like an immense forest, like really dense and really messed up creatures. They talked about some creatures that look like, the way they describe it is like dinosaurs. And they have wyverns. And if you know what a wyvern is, it's similar to a dragon. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen. But it's similar to a dragon, but a little bit smaller. And they have like this whole other race of people who are green, and they have like a longer head and things like that. Let's explore this world, right? Another idea that I think it could work. Not my favorite one, but it just could. What if we go like hundreds of years in the future, and see what happened, the ramifications that what Daenerys brought to Westeros, what Bran did to Westeros. Did he help? Is he still alive? Is he still there? Because he's the three-eyed whatevers. Let's see that, right? Um, let's see if what they did in Game of Thrones actually changed Westeros, because that was the whole point. To change the balances of power, or as Daenerys says, break the wheel, which I never really liked that speech, but still. So that was my take on the spin-off shows. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys like Game of Thrones, please leave it a like and subscribe. I can talk about gods like forever. I just love it. And if you want more content like this, please leave it in the comments so I know what you guys enjoy. And thank you. I see you guys in the next one.